Moving on to the Pac-12 as we barrel through this lightning round preview of college football in the Power 5. For my money, it's a swan song for the Pac-12, but man, this is the most fun conference in America right now because every single team has a quarterback, and USC, no exception. The one thing I truly learned from week 0 is that this is the same exact team as last year. Exciting offense with the reigning Heisman winner and likely #1 overall pick, Caleb Williams, getting those Patrick Mahomes sort of comparisons for good reasons. He is a freak out there. An arsenal of weapons, including Zachariah Branch, true freshman, 5-star wide receiver, got 2 touchdowns in week 0 versus San Jose State. Look for him to flash on the screen basically all season. They got another good one there on the offensive side of the ball. Loaded all over the offensive side of the ball. The problem is just a putrid, terrible defense led by Alex Grinch, who must be either engaged in a passionate love affair with Lincoln Riley or have blackmail on him, because I have no idea how Grinch is still Riley's DC after all these years. He was the DC with Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma for basically his entire time there as well and never had a great defense. I have no idea why Lincoln Riley keeps this guy around, but good for him for finding a way to stick around and be a coordinator after all these years of mediocrity. It's what we should all aspire to, quite frankly. Just keep on getting jobs after being mediocre year after year after year. That's the dream right there, baby. That is the dream. I see USC being basically the same exact team as last year, though. Washington, same core returning from last season, minus running back Wayne Taluapapa, and the presumed starter, whose name escapes me right now, did go down for the year. So former Mississippi State running back Dylan Johnson likely going to start, from what I understand. Hey, good for him for having an opportunity to go out there and show what he's got. He played very well with Mississippi State when he was on the field over the last couple of years under Mike Leach's system. Similar sort of system there with Kalen DeBoer, sort of air raid style. Michael Penix, very good quarterback there as well. Looking forward to seeing Dylan Johnson play some meaningful snaps, man. I mean, good for him landing on his feet after transferring out of Mississippi State. I hope for the best for the guy, man. I understand why he was out of there after Mike Leach unfortunately passed away. Hate to see it, but love to see him land on his feet. But, I mean, they got quarterback Michael Penix. They got wide receiver Rome Odunze, who led all of the Pac-12 in receiving last year. The question with basically every team in the Pac-12 is going to be defense, but that offense, no questions there, man. Michael Penix might be the third QB off the board in this coming draft as well. Like I said, every single team, it feels like, in the Pac-12 has got a quarterback in some way, shape, or form. It's going to be a fun year in the Pac-12. Moving on, we got Oregon. That was the last of my notes that I put down here, folks. So we're just firing at the hip right now. Oregon, they lose offensive coordinator Kenny Dillingham to Arizona State this past offseason. That's probably the biggest question mark because Bo Nix looked spectacular in Kenny Dillingham's offense last year. Can he replicate that this coming year in a new offensive system? Well, I assume it's going to be a similar offensive system. Will Bo Nix be the same player this upcoming season? That's going to be a big determinant on how far the Oregon Ducks get. But maybe the best defense in the conference upcoming this year outside of maybe Utah coming up. But very good offense, underrated running back in, Bucky Irving, very good running back on the backfield there. Good receivers, good defensive line. Oregon should be right there at the top of this conference. Hopefully, you would assume being in the conference title game and pushing for a playoff spot when it's all said and done. I like Oregon this year. Utah, Cam Rising back for his 15th year in college football. Will he start week 1? Who's to say? We'll find out on Thursday whenever they take the field versus Florida. Cannot wait for that. But assuming he's there towards the back half of the season, they're still, Utah is just steady Eddie, man. They have a bunch of guys you probably haven't heard of. Cam Rising's there, just ho-hum. And next thing you know, they're going to get 10 wins, probably be in the Pac-12 championship, maybe spoiling a trip to the playoff for somebody else. This is just what Utah does throughout the course of their illustrious history in the Pac-12 thus far. That's just who they are. I expect nothing less for them. They will be their usual solid self throughout the course of this year. Probably give USC a run for their money. Always a good matchup in that one. Oregon State. They were the recipient of a transfer quarterback by the name of DJ Uiagalelei from the Clemson Tigers last season. He'll step in as the new starting quarterback there. Very good offense there, but from John Smith. That sounds like a fake name. Sounds like an absolutely fake name at the head coach over there, but has got the boys playing. Oregon State, kind of the odd man out with the breakup of the Pac-12. I hope they land on their feet somewhere. They got good athletic programs. It's just a matter of finding a home for them. I hope they end up somewhere over the course of this season. But the Pac-12 is about to implode on itself. Well, it's already kind of imploded on itself like a dying star, but I hope Oregon State lands on its feet. This year of college football, though, they quietly won 10 games this past season. They might be even better this coming year. Very good offense. Always question marks about the defense, but what else is new in the Pac-12? Watch out for Oregon State. They should be good this year. UCLA, questions at quarterback now that DTR is with the Cleveland Browns. That being Dorian Thompson-Robinson for the uninitiated. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for paying attention. It's either going to be they got an incumbent there. It's been with Chip Kelly for the last several seasons and then not started behind Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Yep, that's the name. I just stumbled over it once again, but I digress on that front. It's either going to be the incumbent guy that was the backup the last couple of years. They also got Colin Schlee, the quarterback at Kent State this past year. He might start some games. They also got a very highly touted true freshman quarterback. Jesus Christ, his name was just in my head. What's his name? UCLA quarterback. Oh, goodness. I got to look this up real quick. Oh, UCLA freshman QB. That's right. Dante Moore. My goodness, am I a fucking idiot. Dante Moore might get some playing time down the stretch of the year. He might actually beat out anyone who is in that starting lineup. And he's probably the best quarterback that Chip Kelly has had since, I want to say, Marcus Mariota, man. It's been a long time since he's had a quarterback of that ilk, of that variety. I mean, DTR was a highly touted guy coming in. Dante Moore looks the part as well, man. This could be a very, very good quarterback down the line when it's all said and done. Watch out for UCLA this year. They're going to be right in the thick of things when it comes to the Pac-12 title at the end of this. Washington State, another odd man out when it comes to the breakup of the Pac-12. I don't know much about this team, quite frankly. They've got a solid incumbent quarterback. Good enough team. Probably going to be a 7-6 ball club if I had to guess, but they'll be right in the thick of things till the very end. Maybe not in the Pac-12, but they'll be feisty if nothing else. Arizona, they've still got Jaden DeLora there starting. He's the starting quarterback. Outside of that, I don't know. They play Mississippi State very early on in the season, so that should be fun. Good times if you're interested in that sort of thing. Will they be good? Probably not. Probably not very good at all. Cal, probably going to be even worse. I mean, they were terrible last year. Don't see a whole lot of improvement in that football program this year. Just grit and bear it, guys. You're another odd man out in the Pac-12 breaking up, one of the 4 teams remaining in the Pac-12 after the season, which, if you didn't know, I think you need like 8 teams to be considered a conference, so good luck with that. They seem to be in quite a precarious situation athletically right now. Arizona State, Jaden Rashada, talk about another highly touted quarterback. You may remember his name as part of that NIL controversy with Florida. He was going there, was making a big-time NIL check, and all of a sudden, the check was bad. He decommits from Florida, now goes to Arizona State, and he will start year 1 right out of the gate as a true freshman for Kenny Dillingham's Arizona State Sun Devils. Will they be any good? Who cares? They got a bowl ban this year, self-imposed, which is like, it's one of those things like, yeah, maybe we're going to win 4 games, but you know what? We're going to take this opportunity. We know Herm Edwards did some things wrong in the past with the NCAA's eyes. We're going to self-impose a bowl ban. You guys don't have to do it. You don't have to call us heroes. We know we're heroes, but we don't need you to say it. We're going to self-impose a bowl ban. See what the NCAA thinks about that. But hey, Arizona State, going to be interested to see, if nothing else, what Jaden Rashada does in his first year as a starting quarterback right out of high school, pretty much. That should be fun to watch. If nothing else on that team, that should be fun to watch. Stanford, who the hell even knows, man? They're terrible last year. Probably not going to be any good this year. They're another team as an odd man out in the realignment of the Pac-12. Good luck. 1 or 2 wins. Don't see a whole lot else happening there. And maybe the most intriguing team that's not going to do anything in the Pac-12 this year, Colorado. overturned like 70% of the roster through the transfer portal. Unprecedented movement in the transfer portal this year. And, I mean, it's basically exactly what Deion Sanders wanted coming in from Jackson State this coming year. Get rid of the one-win stink off the program. Bring in a bunch of new guys. Some guys you brought along from Jackson State. A lot of others he got in the transfer portal elsewhere. They landed a five-star cornerback this year. In guy's name escapes me, but they got a five-star cornerback out of the recruiting class this year. I think best corner in the recruiting class in 2023. He'll be on campus. They got Travis Hunter, who plays both sides of the ball. Might I add, he plays wide receiver and plays corner on the other side. So they got 2 5-star corners playing for Colorado. Young guys, but should be good contributors. Got Shedeur Sanders, definitely not a nepotism guy, but he is the 4-star quarterback that will be quarterbacking the Colorado Buffaloes this year. Are they going to be any good? No, they will be probably bad. If they win 4 games, that'll be a success. If they get to a bowl game, that will be, pop the champagne bottles. They are going to be partying if they get to 6 wins this year. But that should be your expectations for Colorado. I think Deion Sanders gets this rig rolling at some point, but temper your expectations on the initial runway here for Colorado. That's what I got to say about that. And if I'm predicting the conference, man, I just don't feel good about USC winning this conference. And after seeing what they did in week 0, I just don't think they got the horses to do it. Give me Oregon, okay? I think Bo Nix is going to be damn good this year. I think they got probably the best defense outside of Utah in the conference. Give me Oregon to win the Pac-12 this year and possibly make a run at the college football playoff.